Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Victoria Puentes, Evogen Elite athlete and wellness IFBB Pro. I'm from Las Cruces, New Mexico, but I currently live in San Antonio, Texas. So my athletic background, I was actually a former collegiate soccer player. I played for the University of the Incarnate Word, where I was actually a goalkeeper. And so soccer's pretty much been, a huge part of my life back until I was 5 years old. I played competitive, and that's pretty much how I moved to San Antonio. I just received the full ride and I've stayed here since. But what got me into bodybuilding, I was actually working in a GNC and my store manager handed me a magazine and he was like, hey, you could look like this. It was a picture of Larissa Rice. And I said, there's no way. He said, yes way. I definitely know that you have what it takes. You may not know it yet, but I do. And so I laughed, and so here I am. So shortly after, a few people were bugging me to compete, or they were seeing that I was kind of making some really fast changes in the gym. I started taking it a little bit more serious, and so I started competing in figure in the year of 2015. April is actually when I had my first show. It just took off from there. And so I loved figure at the time, but I wasn't as successful as I was in wellness, obviously, just because I have a lot, bigger legs. So I took a break from 2017 after my last national show. I didn't think I was ever gonna make it back to the stage until recently they brought out the wellness division. Whenever they brought out wellness, I had a few people who reached out to me before I even considered competing in the, the new division. They said, hey, this is definitely for you. It has your name written all over it. And so I finally said, oh, well, we'll see, we'll see. And so finally I, really started watching it, and I just absolutely loved the look. I went for it. And so I prepped myself. I made it back to the stage in October 23rd. I did the San Antonio Classic, where I placed third. And then 6 weeks later, I went on to win the overall at the Battle of Texas in Dallas. And then shortly, 3 weeks later, I received my pro card at NPC Nationals. So it's been a really long, wild ride, but I'm here, and I'm so happy that I'm finally doing what I love doing, and I just love wellness. I'm currently getting ready for my pro debut and a few other shows along the way, because my ultimate dream is to make it to the Olympia. And at the time, I never thought I would be here, but now it's actually happening to where I can actually say that my goal is to make it to the Olympia. I love bodybuilding, not just for the aesthetics and for the looks and the muscle hardness. I love it just because it's misunderstood by many. And not only that, it's not just about the aesthetics and the look, it's about the journey, it's about the persistence, the dedication, the discipline, the drive, everything that it takes to get to the stage. When you're actually experiencing it and whenever you're actually competing, it's so much more than that. And to me, it's about the internal journey, not just physically, but mentally as well, because not everyone can do it, and it's not for everyone. But that's what I like, just because I am a true competitor, and I know that it's more than just a physical transformation. It's an everything transformation. So my training split, I typically train legs 3 to 4 days a week. It's normally either Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, or Monday, Thursday, Saturday. And I pretty much do the same movements over and over, just with emphasizing with progressive overload. And also emphasizing the FST7 training, which I've learned like years ago. So what I pretty much do are, hack squats, Smith machine squats, RDLs, which are my absolute favorite, hamstring curls. My body tends to grow very, very easily, so I don't necessarily train any upper body at all. I actually had to refrain that the entire year of 2021 and up until now. I probably won't train upper body until like the last maybe 2 to 3 weeks before a show, just because my body will grow and I'm already wide as it is, so I just emphasize on training legs, which has worked for me. So the other days where I don't have anything to train, say if it's like only 3 days where I'm training legs, the other 4 days I'll focus on posing, or I'll focus on I'll get in extra cardio or rest. But for the most part, everything is pretty much the same. So I've been a huge fan of Evogen since before I even started competing. Before I was even an amateur, I was a huge fangirl of all of Hani's athletes at the time, who were, Mr. Olympia, Mr. Olympia. I know that Hani is, the pro creator, and he is phenomenal, so I've always looked up to him. Kind of a fun fact, whenever I made it to my first Olympia, just to go watch as an amateur, I took a picture with him and I told him, like, hey, you're gonna be my coach one day, or hey, I'm gonna be with Evogen one day, and he just kind of like gave me a funny look. But I'm like, no, I'm serious. And so I actually have that picture in my on my Instagram. I'll have to post it so I can show everybody. But I truly feel like it's taken a lot of time to get where I am at, and I feel like everything has been manifested, but I'm definitely where I want to be, and there's no other company that I would want to work for than Evogen. So because I'm pretty much a cardio queen the entire prep, I love to use the Liposide IR and the Carnogen with caffeine. I have a fasted cardio that I have to do, and then I have a post-workout cardio that I have to do. So those two are pretty much my go-to every single day, and I run out all the time. They're really good for energy. They help with water loss, fat loss. They're overall just amazing stimulants if you're looking to drop that extra fat. So a short-term goal of mine, well, it was a long-term goal, but now I feel like it's more of a short-term goal now, is to make it to the Olympia. And another goal of mine is to have a team working under me and grow my business. All right, guys, this is Victoria Puentes, Evogen Elite athlete. I'll see you guys later.